talk about every game happened on Wednesday, February 26th. The first game is the Celtics lost to the Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons, they are one of the hottest teams in the NBA at the moment. And it's really amazing what they've been doing since Jaden Ivey went down. And of course, Kate Cunningham is by far their best player and carrying the load. For the Celtics, they have Jaylen Brown out, but they had Kristaps Porzingis. They have Peyton Pritchard playing 31 minutes. He's been playing over 30 minutes when guys are out of the lineups. 5 threes, 18 points, just short term. You want to have him. If he's playing over 30 minutes, sure. If he's only playing 25, sometimes even 20, then just a stream player. Jrue Holiday played 31 minutes, pretty horrible. Nothing really stands out. Like Jason Tatum had a okay game scoring the basketball, 27 points, 4 threes, but the Celtics, they are losing a lot of games as of late. And let's see, they're currently 6.5 games behind the Cavaliers. So I mean, they're probably gonna have the second seed. So if they play the Cavs, they won't have the home court. But the East is so easy, to be honest. For the Celtics last year, the path to the finals, it was amazingly easy. For Detroit, they might, they won't 8 straight. If they play the Knicks, in the playoffs, who knows what's gonna happen. Kate Cunningham, 21 points, 11 assists, 1 3. And I will say, like, Malik Beasley is just the perfect 6-man. Came off the bench, played 21 minutes, took 15 shots. That's okay. 26 points, just instant offense off the bench. And now you have, instead of Jaden Ivey, now you have Tim Hardaway Jr. starting. Only hit 1 3 here, but he spaced the floor pretty well. And of course, you have Ausar Thompson locking people up with 5 steals, 7 points. He's a must roster, even though the minutes is up and down. And of course, Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris, during the 8-game winning streak, everybody's playing a lot better on Detroit. The next game is the Toronto Raptors lost to the Indiana Pacers 91-111. How about Indiana Pacers? How about Tyrese Haliburton? Pacers, with this win, they're the 4th seed in the East. They are probably not going to catch the Knicks. They're right now 5 games behind. But the Toronto Raptors, Emmanuel Quickley, 18 points, 6 assists. I would say, overall very disappointing year. Continues. RJ Barrett had 16 points, 5 assists with, Scotty Barnes out. Okay counting numbers, but he hit his free throws somehow, 5 for 5. Jacob Poeltl is back. Good to see him back. Due to the blowout, only played 24 minutes. Not much going on with this Raptors squad. Because guys are coming back, healthy. For the Pacers, how about Tyrese Haliburton? 12 for 15, 33 points, 11 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. In the last month, Tyrese has been balling. I'm not sure what's really going on. He's actually the 3rd ranked player in the last month. It's crazy. 20 points. This is why I guess he was a top 6 pick, because when he puts everything together, well, he's only averaging 20 points. That's okay. 9 assists, obviously very good. 2 steals. But how about the efficiency? 50% from the field, 84% from the line, only 2.7 attempts, so only turning the ball over 1.6 times. So you have Tyrese Haliburton. You're in a unique situation where you can win both turnovers and assists, right? You can have some crazy team build in category leagues that counters probably a lot of teams. If you can win assists and turnovers, right? Like I talked about before, there are like a lot of correlations between different categories. So, a team with a lot of points probably with a lot of good threes. But if your team have a lot of assists, but also can win turnovers, when you play certain teams, it's almost like an automatic win. Because certain teams, they're just punting a lot of categories already. And if you win both, Kate Cunningham actually the 6th ranked player in the last month as well. Pretty scary stuff from these guys. Miles Turner had 2 blocks since coming back from his injury. Very brief injury. He's only out for a couple games. He's been blocking a lot of shots, so that's good. 2 blocks here. Aaron Nesmith now plays just more minutes over Benedict. So both guys, they're not much roster, just stream players. Pascal Siakam played 32 minutes. Siakam has just been very quiet. This is why, he's very consistent, but playing on this team, he's just not gonna go off, right? They really spread the ball around. He's not gonna have 40-point games. He's gonna have 20-point game almost all the time. Just very consistent. Which, if you're looking for that, sure. But usually in fantasy, you kind of want to draft for the upside, not just to be safe. Yeah. The next game is the Sixers. I don't know what the odds for the Sixers to make the play-ins right now, but I will place a bet on the Sixers because as it stands, they are 2.5 games behind the Bulls. It's not impossible to still make the play-ins, right? And Paul George said he's gonna quit podcasting for a little bit, focus on closing out the season. He had a great game here: 25 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. If Joel Embiid is out for season, I think it's going to be good for Paul George. Maybe he can, be. I don't know if he's healthy, but if Embiid is out, I do see Paul George averaging at least 20 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. And we know he can provide threes and defensive stats. He did it all here, played 42 minutes, but just not enough. Tyrese Maxey played 43 minutes in the last month. He's also in the first round player. Amazing season from Tyrese Maxey. And one of the biggest surprises, I would say, is he's getting a lot of steals. I don't know if people are talking about that. In category leagues, it's huge. Like, I think he's averaging around 2 steals a game. He took 32 shots here, but too bad they couldn't win this game. Andre Drummond, we need to pick him up, and until we hear something from Embiid, to be honest, he may not play again this season. Kelly Oubre Jr. played huge minutes as well. I mean, he's obviously a must roster. For whatever reason, Quentin Grimes only played 20, while Justin Edwards played 28. I'm still going to roster Quentin Grimes for a little bit and see how things go. For the New York Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns is out, so they play this guy Ario instead of Precious Chua, but it doesn't matter. Precious Chua got 31 minutes, so we definitely want to stream Chua. He had 4 blocks here, which is huge. Jalen Brunson played well. Josh Hart came back, had 17 rebounds. He's just ridiculous, grabbing those boards. Mikal Bridges played high minutes. The problem with the Knicks, as we all know, a lot of people are talking about it. They're like 0-7 versus top teams, 0-8. So they have no problem beating bad teams. But what's the point, if you can beat good teams? We'll see in the playoffs what happens. The next game is the Wizards. This is a high-scoring game, 129-121. Portland beat Wizards. And Portland team, actually, I do see them getting, this season, even though they're the 12th seed, but again, they're playing the West. And they're only 1.5 games behind Phoenix Suns. They won 3 straight. They have good talent on this team. Anfernee Simons, 16 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. Scoot Henderson came off the bench at 25 points. And how about Shaedon Sharpe? He popped off here, but I don't think he's a must roster. If he's on the waiver wire, we can pick him up. But just so you know that I don't see him playing 33 minutes every single game. There's no way, right? Coming off the bench. But this is an amazing game from him. And they're still playing Jeremy Grant 36 minutes. And Danny Advia, maybe because Danny Advia got hurt or something. Why did he only play 5 minutes? Not sure. That's why, I guess that explains it, why Shaedon Sharpe got a lot of minutes, and he, of course, went off. Donovan, pretty disappointing, I gotta say. Like, they're just not playing him big minutes. And he also had 5 fouls in 17 minutes. But he's an absolutely must roster regardless, despite the low minutes. And Toumani Camara, they really trust him, and he's actually really good. 3 steals here again. He's a must roster. He also fouled out 6 fouls. They commit a lot of fouls versus this Wizards team. Keyshawn George, another decent game, I would say. Only 27 minutes because he had 5 fouls. But look what he does. He hit 1 3. Usually he hit 2. 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He's going to give you 5 rebounds, 3, 4 assists. Those not huge numbers, but it doesn't hurt you, right? And then on top of it, he give you good steals and good blocks. He's a big guy, right? He's a perfect 3-and-D guy. Somehow he had 4 turnovers, but he's a must roster. They're still giving Chris Middleton, starting him and giving him minutes. I don't know why. They should play Bob Carrington more. Bob Carrington still had a decent game. So if you have him, I would still just hold. I think at some point Middleton is going to be out. Um, Hopefully, that'll be the right move for this young team. Jordan Poole, he's still playing and still putting up good numbers. 5 for 5 from the line, 24 points, is still in a block, and 3 threes. Overall, Jordan Poole happy with this season's production, I would say, and yeah, let's see if they're still playing him in March. There'll be some back to backs. He's gonna sit out, right? Bilo Kalabali also had a decent game, and Rashawn Holmes, as long as Alex Sarr is out, he is a must roster. He has some foul trouble here. Moving on to the next one, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Brooklyn Nets 129-121. I think the Thunder, they were down quite a bit, and then they came back, of course, behind Shea's 27 points. But I think definitely there's been a fall. Shea's numbers has fallen off. Still the fourth ranked player in the last month, averaging 33 points. But the steals, only 1.2 steals. Everything else is still actually amazing. But I think the last couple games, maybe also due to some blowout wins, like he's not scoring as much. But either way, 12 for 13 from the line, that's huge. We just want to see what happens in the playoffs. Can this team have playoff success? Isaiah Hartenstein played 24 minutes, great, and Chet Holmgren had 17 rebounds. Ooh. That means he's taking some of the rebounds away from Isaiah Hartenstein. 2 steals and 3 blocks from him. That's huge. And Jalen Williams did his thing. And then you have Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins. You just don't know who's going to play more minutes this game. Aaron Wiggins was a plus 26. He had 24 points. So if I'm streaming for 3 and D, I probably prefer Aaron Wiggins. He's been playing a lot better lately. Although Cason Wallace gets a lot of steals. He gets a lot of steals. Both guys, if they have a back-to-back, you could stream them for 3 and steals. For the Brooklyn Nets, they are giving Killian Hayes. So we got to pick up Killian Hayes. We don't know when D'Lo is going to be back or is he back at all. 19 points, 7 assists, 34 minutes. He just somehow find minutes. Keon Johnson, 16 points, great. We want to have him, but he's very up and down. And De'Ron Sharp, how about him? With Claxton out, 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks versus Oklahoma City. Supposedly, they're a great defensive team. I don't know how long Claxton is going to be out, but as long as he's out, De'Ron Sharp is absolutely must roster. Who knows? If you give him 30 minutes, he's a top 30 player. Zaire Williams hit 5 threes, which is huge, but we know he's 3 and D, and he grabbed some rebounds. That's great, and they're still playing Cameron Johnson a lot of minutes. So, okay, we'll take it. He hit 4 threes. That's also pretty good. The next game is the Atlanta Hawks. They lost to the Miami Heat, 109-131. Yeah, I mean the East, these teams. Hawks is right now the 9th seed. The Heat is the 8th seed. Yeah, I mean they're just gonna lose in the first round. But fantasy-wise, Okongwu, great game with 9 rebounds, still in 2 blocks. Dyson Daniels, just super consistent, putting up numbers. 33 minutes, 18 points, right? Good efficiency, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. This man is really good in category leagues, really, really good. Trey Mann had 8 assists, 17 points. Well, very mediocre game. I just remember, actually, Trae Young struggles versus the Heat. So knowing this is probably a good idea to bet under. He's not going to struggle every game, but I think the Heat defensively, they really have a plan for Trae. So next time I'll probably bet his under on his points. He might dish out a bunch of assists, but he only took 12 shots. I think that's telling. Only able to get off 12 shots in 35 minutes. Zachary Ricochet, he's just not good. Maybe a streamer if they have a back-to-back. Karis LeVert has been getting a lot of minutes, so we could stream him, but he's just not that good in category leagues. And Georgia's if you need threes, sure, you could have him. You could stream him. For the Heat, Andrew Wiggins only 15 points. Maybe due to the blowout, didn't really play in the fourth. Tyler Hero had a good game, 24 points and 10 assists with 4 threes as well. Yeah, Devon Mitchell, we have to Jovic out, right? They're giving Devon Mitchell a lot of minutes. over Terry Rozier. I guess Terry Rozier is out. 7 for 8, 5 for 5. He's gonna give you threes, assists, and steals. Pretty solid player, to be honest. And Kel Ware also had played 30 minutes, had an okay game. There will be one of those games he's just gonna absolutely pop off. I'm still waiting. 12 points, 8 rebounds is okay with 2 steals, and also hit 2 threes as well. The next game is the Clippers. They beat Chicago 122-117. Another team that in the West maybe a little bit underrated this year. Nobody really talks about them, but a healthy Kawhi Leonard, right? Now Shane now has a lot of hype, but in the playoffs, we haven't seen Shane do it. We've seen Kawhi Leonard does in the playoff, just crazy efficiency. He goes hard, and obviously he's a two-way player. He does a lot, and in the playoffs, I think at one point he has the highest true shooting of all time, with certain usage. So a full healthy Kawhi Leonard is still very, very scary. So this Clippers team, they have James Harden. We'll see what happens with this team. Nobody really talking about them being a contender. Like nobody really see them. They could surprise some people. They played OKC. Who knows? Chris Dunn, he was getting a lot of minutes, only 27 minutes here. But at least we could stream him. We could stream Bogdanovic, right? And also not the best game, but actually a decent game. 4 3, 6 assists. I would take it. And a block. Norman Powell is still out. So what happens when Norman Powell comes back? They also got Ben Simmons in 18 minutes. He's definitely a streamer for assists. He definitely could be a streamer for assists, but we know he's going to be, miss back-to-backs and all that. But when he plays, he give us assists. James Harden, 30 points. Yeah, big game from Harden, actually. 5 for 5. Now they have another guy off the bench, Ben Simmons. Their bench is very solid, to be honest. They give, Bogdanovic, Batum, right? Zubac had a double-double and with 2 blocks. And Kawhi chipped in 17 points, 4 steals and a block is pretty huge with 3 steals. On the Chicago side, Lonzo Ball played 28 minutes, 2 threes. Not a bad game. I would roster Lonzo Ball in category leagues. He's playing around 30 minutes. There will be games he pops off with like 4 steals and 3 blocks with 5 threes and 6, 7 assists. He just contributes so many different categories that I'm like, okay, he's going to be useful on my team, right? Threes, steals, block, assist, right? That's 4 categories right there. Zach Collins, although, his efficiency, he doesn't really score a lot, but, Zach Collins is a must roster. If he's on the waiver wire still, let's roster him, and we don't know when Vucevic is going to be back. 17 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 21 points. Yeah, it's absolutely huge. Kobe White hit 4 threes. Yeah, there was something weird going on. They had him come off the bench. He started this game with 4 threes, 19 points. That's great. And Josh Giddey continues to be hot. 21 points, hit 4 threes, 4 for 4. Crazy good efficiency, 8 rebounds, and a steal. He was droppable beginning of the season. Now he's, if we ignore his efficiency, the counting numbers he's giving us has been pretty crazy. The next one is the Kings beating the Jazz 118. I mean, the Kings, they're in a tight playoff race. 118, 101. They're going to play their guys high minutes. So, of course, Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, and Keegan Murray, they are playing 30 minutes. But actually, this game, Keon Ellis got 30 minutes. But some games, they just give DeRozan 40 minutes. They give Malik Monk 40 minutes. They give Zach LaVine 40 minutes, and Keon Ellis only gets 25. Keon Ellis, if there's a back-to-back, you need defensive stats. You could have him. With the De'Aaron Fox gone, I really had high hopes for Malik Monk. Still an okay game, like 13 points, 6 assists, and 9 rebounds. It's good. I'm just waiting for like a big game from him. He really hasn't popped off. So, yeah. Keegan Murray had a huge one with 26 points and 5 threes. So, for the Utah Jazz, Isaiah Collier, he's been getting fewer minutes. Maybe because Jordan Clarkson is back, and they give Bryce Sansaborn more minutes. I don't know. They're shifting minutes around. I would still hold on to Isaiah Collier. He's still starting. But, if he's playing like, okay, if you don't need assists, you could drop him, right? Ideally, we want him to play 30 minutes. The last couple of games, he hasn't been getting that minutes, but 7 assists and 2 steals and 2 threes is still very, very useful in category leagues. Meanwhile, Keontae George, Not the best game, but still hit 3 threes, 5 assists, 11 points. I think Keontae George needs to be rostered in category leagues. And of course, if you're not punting field goal and turnovers, maybe not. But if you're punting one of the categories or two, if you're punting both, I think you have to roster him. Turnovers and unless you don't need threes or assists or points, then you don't need to have him. He's gonna give you a pretty good boost in those three categories. And how about Walker Kessler? Perfect from the field, 10 for 10, 25 points, 14 rebounds. Whenever this guy plays, he's putting up really good numbers. But we know Jazz has been resting him, and Clarkson is just horrible game 1 for 14. Yeah, they don't need to give him 31 minutes, right? They should probably give it to Bryce, Sansabar. Give some of the young guys, even Cody Williams, more minutes. But of course, John Collins is out, so KJ Martin is another guy that I think for sure, if everybody continues to be out, he has some good value. The last game of the night is the Spurs lost to the Rockets. Yeah, the Spurs they're gonna be out. Yeah, they're out. They're out. They're 4.5 games behind the 10th seed. If I have De'Aaron Fox and CP3, especially CP3, who only played 22 minutes because of the blowout. Yeah, just everything just changing like that with Wemby out, because Spurs, they were in a somewhat decent spot competing for a playing spot. They want to get some experience for these young guys. But with Wemby out, now they're out of the playoffs. Why are they playing CP3? Why would they play De'Aaron Fox? I'll be worried, especially for CP3. I think he's going to be droppable. Maybe Stefan Kessel, he's going to be up and coming. 22 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Yeah, if he's on the waiver wire, I'll pick him up for sure. Devin Vassell also plays his 24 minutes. He's been horrible as well. Great win for the Rockets. Şengün only played 18 minutes, which is super weird. I guess he had some foul trouble, 3 personal fouls, but somehow hit his free throws. So overall, not a bad game. But Şengün, the problem with him is counting numbers look good, just the efficiency. So when you build a team next year, you want to have him maybe like punt free throws a little bit, build a team, Jalen Green, 21 points, 3 threes. That's decent enough. And Amen Thompson's getting, the Rockets are winning with him. So 25 points, 5 assists, 2 blocks. These numbers are just ridiculous, to be honest. Just imagine you pick up a guy off the waiver wire, and he give you this level of numbers, 12 for 15, 80% from the field, 25 points, and 2 blocks. Just like his brother, these two guys are almost god in fantasy basketball if they're given minutes. I do see like if Fred VanVleet comes back, he's gonna get a little bit fewer minutes though, because now Jabari Smith is fully. They just don't have all their minutes. Not everybody's gonna play 30 minutes, right? Somebody's gonna lose minutes. I don't think Dylan Brooks gonna lose minutes. So it's between Jabari Smith and Amen Thompson. They're gonna maybe sometime Jalen Green. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.